Over my Madara coverage, I've seen a lot of beginners joining Shinobi Striker, and if you're one of those, welcome, I hope you enjoy your stay. But this resurgence has reminded me a lot of my early days in Shinobi Striker, when I didn't really know what I was doing, and after playing the game for almost 4 years, a lot of mistakes really pop out. So I've put together a list of tips for all you guys starting out Shinobi Striker, and even if you're not a beginner, some of these might be a good reminder of stuff you should be doing in the game. Here we go, 10 Shinobi Striker tips brought to you by Manscaped.com, the global leader in men's grooming tools and hygiene solutions. I'm still using the Plow 2.0 safety razor to shave my face and their Lawnmower 4.0 to shave, well, everything else. Very important to not forget the crop preserver after a good shave to keep those balls fresh, and you can get all of these in their performance package bundle. But now, not only am I using their products, I'm also wearing them. Introducing the new collection of anti-chafing high-performance boxer briefs with more than 6 color combinations for you to choose from, suited for both business and pleasure. I got myself the Kingpin, the Gold Nugget, and the Nighthawk. You can get any of these individually or save some money with their 3-pack options. Sold exclusively at Manscaped.com, and these aren't just boxers. Thanks to their jewel pouch design, there's a dedicated space that cradles your balls, and the perforated performance fabric gives you that extra breathability. So upgrade your wardrobe with these new Manscaped boxer briefs. Go to Manscaped.com today and get 20% off plus free international shipping when you use code Globku at checkout. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code Globku at Manscaped.com, and thank you Manscaped for sponsoring this video. First, start the game with VR missions. I had a decent time doing VR missions when the game first came out, you know, they're not that bad. Over time they do become repetitive and it's not the most fun part of the game for sure. But you need VR missions in order to unlock VR Masters. Masters give you new jutsu, which increases your options when building loadouts. Between VR missions, make sure to look around. If you see any quest icons, go do them. This footage might be slightly outdated. I believe the icons have changed, but these were the icons back in my day. I know, I'm a Shinobi Striker boomer. These quest icons usually unlock a new master right away, so keep doing this between VR missions until you see credits. Once you see the credits, the rest of the VR missions are completely optional. They're still a very good way of getting experience for new VR Masters, especially if you unlock those S-rank missions. But speaking of VR Masters, make sure you have a VR Master selected at all times, whether you're doing VR missions or quick matches. Keep an eye on your VR Master experience bar after every score screen. After 5 stars, you will unlock the secret jutsu that VR Master has to offer, and the rest of the stars are mostly cosmetic, so don't even worry about them as a beginner. Also, it might be useful to focus on masters for your own class. Eventually, you'll play every class type, but you'll probably gravitate towards a specific one at the beginning. The more options for jutsu you have, the more fun your builds will be. And speaking of builds, one of the most frequent questions beginners ask is, what is the best attack type loadout? What's the best one for defense? And my answer to that is usually, just pick a fun loadout. Shinobi Striker has a competitive scene, but it is pretty small, and you're not a part of it, and probably never will. There's like 10 people watching this video who play this game competitively. The rest are just filthy casuals like me. Building loadouts is one of the most fun things you can do in this game. Trying out different jutsu combinations is what keeps bringing me back to this game every few months. So find what makes this game fun for you. I know this doesn't sound like much of a tip, but the more fun you're having with a game, the longer you will play it. And the longer you play, the better you will get. Now, I do have an actual tip for when you're building loadouts, and that is, be ready to swap. Shinobi Striker lets you change between 4 different loadouts, so make some builds that could help you in different scenarios. When joining a game, you can press triangle to select your loadout and the touchpad to see which game mode is coming up and your team composition. If you've got a combat or a base battle, you need at least 1 healer. Same for barrier battle on the defensive side, but for flag and barrier battle attack, healers are a bit more optional. What I do for my loadouts is I have 4 loadouts dedicated for team fights, which are the ones I use the most. And then I have another set of 4 loadouts dedicated to flag battle, with abilities that help me defend the flag or carry it faster if I'm capping it. So plan ahead when building your loadouts because you might have to swap them, but don't be scared of experimenting. That's where most of the fun is in this game. My next tip is tightly linked to the previous one, which is be ready to change and adjust to your team needs. Here's a scenario. We got a barrier battle on the defending side. I check my team comp and we have a healer, so I go attack type. Now I'm fighting to defend the stake and my healer is right next to me, and this is how long I went without a single heal. So naturally, my team needs healing, because our current heal type probably has a build that doesn't actually heal, and that's fine, I just couldn't guess that from the starting screen. So I switched to heal type, become the dedicated healer, and thanks to this change, we were able to protect the next stakes comfortably. Now, sometimes you get sick of always being that person who has to change the heal type, and just want to have some fun with your attack type loadouts. That's fine too, but at that point, you can't really be surprised if you end up losing the game. That said, don't take it too seriously, just have fun. Tip number 4, focus the healer. Now, we were able to heal through that match pretty easily because the enemy team didn't know what to attack. They go after the first ninja they can lock onto and then pray for the best. If you don't focus the healer when team fighting, you are losing that fight. In this fight right here, things were going well until a single attack type decided to start focusing me, which puts me in a really tough spot. When this happens to your healer, it's the rest of the team's job to come to the rescue. Healers are the most important target to focus on. Even if you're not on a pre-made team, even if you're not on voice comms, everyone should just know by default, healer takes priority in a team fight, protecting your healer and targeting the enemy team's healer. Simple as that. Next, let's get to some juicy tech. Movement is king in Shinobi Striker, and if you can move faster than your opponents or your teammates, you can contribute a lot more to a victory. Look at how much faster I got to this base. By the time my teammate got here, I almost kept it on my own. This is one of the reasons why movement is so important. Here's another one. My opponent left this losing fight to go capture an uncontested point. They're ahead of me by so much, but because I've got better movement, I can get there in time to contest it. But how do you actually move faster than everyone else? Well, some of it is simple, some of it is pretty advanced. The fastest way to move around in Shinobi Striker is the wire kunai. So whenever you get the chance, wire kunai into a wall. It's instant and you'll move faster than ever. But that's not all I'm doing here. If you simply wire kunai into a wall, you have landing recovery. This little animation is gonna stop your momentum before you can jump and do it again. So I'm canceling that landing animation by holding down the charge jump button, the right trigger. This gets rid of that landing animation and lets you move on to the next action. Problem is, if you let go of the charge jump button, you're just gonna do a little hop and you won't actually move faster. So now we need to cancel the charge jump. And you can do this by simply blocking, dashing, or jumping. So whenever I'm moving with the wire kunai, my buttons are pretty much right trigger, left trigger, jump. It took me some time to get this motion down, but after a while it becomes second nature. And this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to movement. I'm gonna recommend this video by Hidden Rose from 2019 because this is how I first learned a lot of this stuff. Hidden Rose still makes Shinobi Striker content, so I'm sure if you ask nicely, he'll make an updated tutorial with the microphone he has right now instead of
But you can also use this one just going straight up, say you're not close to the edge and you're...
You can find him at youtube.com/channel/UCH5_6. You know what? Just search for Hidden Rose Movement on YouTube. You'll find him. Next tip, and this one is gonna sound super obvious, but it's easily the mistake I see most often while playing. Understand the game mode that you're on and what the objective is. Our monkey brains just want to do battle. We want to build the perfect shinobi and defeat others, and that's great. There's a game mode for that. It's called Survival Exercise. But in team battles, that's usually a really bad decision. I'll give you an example. We're playing barrier battle and I'm damaging the boss, playing the objective. The enemy team knocks me off the platform defending the boss, as they should, but then instead of trying to knock off other people, they choose to focus me because their monkey brains want to chase that kill. And I'm happy to stay down here in a 1v2 because as long as you're busy with me, you're not protecting the boss. And the rest of my team can simply finish it off for free. Your monkey brain shouldn't have chased that kill, it should have played the objective. When you do battle in these different game modes, you want to win a team fight to win an objective. Just doing random battle in the middle of nowhere for the sake of a bigger KD ratio is pointless. And speaking of pointless, don't rage quit, you goddamn idiot. This isn't some PSA saying, hey, you should just have some fun, don't quit, you know, it's just a video game. No, you are an actual idiot if you quit in this game. Because losing a game is so much better than quitting and much less of a time waste. You still get experience if you lose, you still level up, you still learn new jutsu. Even in ranked, you're not gonna rank down on a loss, you just rank up faster if you win. Losing does not matter in this game. In fact, you only gain stuff, just slower. And if you're worried about your win to loss ratio, think of this. I'm a YouTuber with 300,000 subscribers. Thanks for that, by the way. Does anyone know what my win to loss ratio is? Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna open your player profile and laugh at you for your low win to loss ratio. It literally doesn't matter, so stop quitting. Tip number 8, save your esoterics. This game is a gacha now, not just in the way that it gives you random stuff out of scrolls and you can pay for more scrolls for extra pulls, but also it trickles down the number of esoterics that you can get over time. And esoteric scrolls are the ones that give you the best stuff. It gets really grindy at higher levels that you'll definitely regret spending esoterics early on. Check Tenten every week, the items that she has on rotation, and when you see a new weapon or ninja tool that looks really good, that's when you want to spend your scrolls to try and get those items. Now, you're not gonna know what's really good as as a beginner, so just save those esoterics. Feel free to open the other scrolls. As a beginner, they'll give you a lot of new stuff, and don't forget to sell your duplicates. You can use that money to Shinobi boost items. That's when you take an outfit and you change the skills attached to it so you have the freedom to look cool and also have the skills you want, but it can be quite expensive, especially early on. Sometimes during a match you win a team fight and now you have some downtime as you wait for the enemy team to respawn and get back to your point. During this downtime, it's good to not just stand around if you have abilities on cooldown. You can hold down the jutsu buttons to recharge your abilities faster, but I really only recommend doing this during downtime. If there's a team fight happening nearby, you can usually help out with just your attack buttons or ninja tools. I used to see too many players just letting their teammates die because they want their cooldowns back. But if the fight is over, don't forget there's something you could be doing, and that's recharging, getting ready for the next one. Final tip, and this makes beginners so easy to kill: do not substitute out of everything. Whenever you get hit, you might find yourself hitting the substitution button out of reflex, and that's really bad. The sooner you get rid of this bad habit, the sooner you will improve. Let's look at some examples. I throw a single kunai to delay this attack type from climbing the building. I then throw another one, waiting for the camera to adjust, and they sub out of it. Bad move. Now you don't have any means of escaping my jutsu or my teammate's jutsu, which means you're dead. The range type is gonna follow, and as soon as they get hit by a single kunai, they're gonna substitute. Sure, you hit me with that sub explosion, but now you cannot escape this combo at all. And even though you survived, look at the damage you took. Don't substitute just a random kunai. Save your substitution for getting out of combos, for escaping jutsu. That's where the real damage is. I found myself betting so many substitutions this past week because most of you are beginners and you're making this exact mistake. If I throw a kunai, you substitute, and then I kill you. There are exceptions to this. For instance, I'm fighting this attack type, and because they're losing, they start to retreat. They block my approach and push block me, splatting me against the wall. Now, normally, I would not sub this. I can take a wall splat, it's fine. If he follows up with a combo, I might substitute then, but just subbing the wall splat is usually not a great idea. But this time, because his health is so low, the time I'm gonna spend recovering from this wall splat might be enough for them to escape. So I sub and finish him off. But that was an exception, and I didn't press the sub button out of panic. It was calculated, and that's how all of your substitutions should be. And there you have it, 10 tips for new and returning Shinobi Striker players. If you've got any others that you feel like are very important, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget about today's sponsor. Get your box of briefs at a 20% discount plus free shipping at manscaped.com. The link is down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye!